Something. Yeah, now we have to change.
Ay, Dios mío. All right, we're here. Good morning. It's early. I'm early. I haven't had my pumpkin spice coffee yet. But it is the 17th of September, 8:30 in the morning, and playing some Dungeons and Dragons for session 65, amply titled Fire Fight. We kind of left off in maybe semi-precarious situation, but we'll find out exactly. And we'll do a recap and jump into it.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We?
Great. I'm streaming live from Rochester, New York, kind of close to Nico, I think. Anyway, we begin our session the morning of Monday, our 64th day together, with only 33 days remaining of the Oath of Peace. And we have just been joined by centaurs as we are watching a group of monk initiates, 6 of them fighting 3 giant scorpions. We have been asked 3 times by their instructors not to interfere. Nessa is the female. Looks like she's the leader of the centaurs. And when Gravik sees the centaurs fighting the scorpions start to help the monks out. They start to fight the scorpions. And when Gravik sees this, he dashes closer to the action and reaches into his component pouch to pull something out. And Arcadia, with an exasperated look, yells at him, "No interference!" And a centaur is the first to kill a scorpion. Demetrius walks over to Nessa and they have a conversation in Sylvan. Basically, he explains to her that we have been requested not to interfere, and she says yes, but she agrees, but they were overwhelmed and they couldn't stand to see the waste of so many warriors to be slaughtered for no reason. Nico and Corbin, meanwhile, are on the sidelines cheering on the fight. And Corbin runs up to Demetrius and asks, what's the deal? Are we supposed to help or not? And but he decides not to. Gravik is continuing to look like he's going to cast a spell. Arcadia yells at him, "No interference, don't jeopardize our relationship with the monks." Nessa walks toward the battle and attacks a scorpion, and Demetrius noticed she smells like roses. One of the scorpions goes down after it had been wounded by Nessar and a centaur, and Demetrius is chuckling. He casually stands watching like a guard, his halberd resting over his shoulder, enjoying the blood sports. Gravik squeezes between 3 centaurs who surround him and pulls out a tuft of fur and a crystal rod from his component pouch, but then he locks eyes with Arcadia as he hears her shouting at him. And he gestures with his hands toward the centaurs all around him with a confused look on his face like, really? And Demetrius meets his eyes and looks away like, do what you want. There's only 1 scorpion remaining. He kills 2 monks within the span of 6 seconds. And Gravik again looks like he's about to cast a spell. Faster than a flash, Arcadia arms her crossbow and aims it straight at Gravik, saying, "Last warning, no interference. These creatures could be centaurs. Remember what Nico said." And Demetrius says, "And if they're centaurs, then we should put them out of their misery. If I ever turn into one of these creatures, kill me." And finally, a monk hits the remaining scorpion. Gravik is absolutely shocked that Arcadia would go to this extent to try to keep him from interfering. He holds his components, not sure what to do. Corbin catches out of the corner of his eye what is going on and tries to grapple Gravik twice, unsuccessfully. But Gravik looks like he's about to cast a spell, but suddenly he seems to pause. He pauses for a second and looks like he's in a daze and stops casting. And finally, all the scorpions go down. 4 of the monks have been killed, and there are just 2 monks remaining. Demetrius applies lay on hands on the remaining monks and brings them out of critical danger. Gravik looks at Arcadia and says, "At least their pride's intact." She says, "You have a lot to learn." "I'm the one that has a lot to learn." "Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. If you have such little regard for following people's requests, then I do not want to have anything to do with you because you are putting all of us in danger." Demetrius says, "Relax, Arcadia. He didn't do anything." "Yeah, and it's a good thing he didn't. The Oracle has never been wrong. If he has some purpose here, then we will bring him along." Demetrius walks over to Nessa and speaks to her in Sylvan. He finds they do not have a tribe. They are just a little band, and they were born on the island. When he explains he has come to end the curse on, as he says, our people, she asks if he is also under the curse, and he explains he considers all centaurs his people, to which she replies he is the hero of the centaurs. And he is the follower, and he explains he is a follower of the divine stallion, as he says, our ancient ancestor, and she has heard of him. And he says the divine stallion has given him certain abilities, and Nessa walks around him and asks what kind of abilities, and he looks at her and says magical abilities. And another centaur, puffs out his chest and says, huh, this little runt with abilities, Nessa, you could do better. And Demetrius says, I'm not looking for a mate right now. I have too much business going on. And the centaur says, you break her heart, I'll break your neck. And Demetrius says, I won't lay a finger on her, which makes Nessa look a little sad. She invites us to a feast, but instead Corbin wants to know if she knows anything about the witch. She has heard the same thing Folon did, which was whoever goes to the tower are never seen again. And Demetrius asks if they are afflicted with a curse, and she says yes. He asks if they have found their riders yet, and she says those two just have. And you look, and the two remaining monks and two centaurs are engaging in a ritual. And the monks are aware of the curse, and the centaurs have an agreement that once their eldest are about to change, if the monks prove themselves, they will bond with them. Then Nessa puts her hand to Demetrius's chest and says maybe he could help her by bonding with her. And he wonders if it would work with both of them being centaurs, and she can't think why not. And he gives her another look over, clears his throat, then says he'll consider it when he returns. We head off to the tower, and I'm just checking we don't have any really important information. Okay, here is Graphic is staring down at the ground at the scene where the battle took place. And Demetrius asks, he says, you look a little forlorn. Has this battle gotten your stomach rumbling? Very cute, Demetrius. No, just contemplating what I could have done if I wasn't being threatened. Why would you do anything? In this land, honor and glory is worth more than your life. Yes, I can see how backwards you all are. Do you honestly have feelings for these humans? Why do you care about them? They didn't have to die. It was their choice. They wanted this. Yes, well, sometimes people make bad choices. And then you are their father to tell them how to live their life. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I can't just not help people when I see that they're in trouble. So all these years that these monks have trained and practiced and readied themselves for this day, all these years are as nothing compared to your better vision of how things should be? Yes, exactly. I disagree, my friend. If I had saved them, they could have trained longer and been more prepared next time. They'd have to recover from their wounds, and they would learn from the experience. And Nico says, learn from the experience? You would have disgraced them. They would have lived in shame. How could you live with yourself? You could always reclaim your honor and live down your shame. You can't do that when you're dead. They probably would have killed themselves afterwards. Oh my God, I can't do these accents. That was Nico. And then basically, Demetrius says, well, Graphic, I will give you this friendly advice. You better learn to adapt to Thalia fast, or, he points to Arcadia, that's what will happen to you. And I'm not saying by our hand, but by the hand of others. If you make choices that go against our culture and way of life, if the centaurs weren't here and you decided to interfere, it may well be that those monks would have killed you. Perhaps, but I'm confident enough I could have defended myself against some deranged monks. I could have just incapacitated them. Now you have wasted all of your magic and you're exhausted and you have achieved nothing. You fundamentally do not understand what I am talking about, or what Nicodemus is talking about. You are so different from us, and the way we view the world, it is difficult when you do things like this. You are going to be traveling with us, and we will encounter more situations like this. So you need to show a little bit of respect and listen to us when we give you advice, because we are from here. Perhaps, but I just cannot fully agree. Bahamut kind of forbids me from being inactive in such situations. It's more a code of ethics. And what is this about your dragon god that makes him care for these monks? I'm not here to preach to you about Bahamut. Let's just move on. Keep your secrets as always, then. I will keep my secrets. I do not pry into any of yours. I appreciate it if you wouldn't pry into any of mine. I'm just trying to understand you a little bit. So as we approach the center of the island, the sun shines down from a clear, cloudless sky. Before us, a huge black stone obelisk reaches more than 200 feet into the heavens. Entry into this strange tower seems impossible, as there are no doors or windows to be seen. Stretching between us and the tower is a field of vibrant yellow wildflowers. Gravik inspects the field and the flowers, doesn't notice anything out of the ordinary, so we walk into the field. Vengeance and Nyx fly overhead, and once we enter with the flying creatures flying, all of a sudden there are crosswinds and storm clouds appearing, and it seems like lightning is about to strike. We decide to recall the flying creatures, and all of a sudden the storm is gone and it is sunny again. As we go through the field of flowers, the sun zips across the sky and sinks into the eastern horizon. The sky darkens until it is decorated with twinkling stars. After a few moments, though, the sun rises from the west and sets again in the east. Demetrius runs back out and it stops, and we end up running out, seeing what happens, but it looks like an illusion, so we just go back inside. And this day and night cycle repeats over and over and over and over until our surroundings become a blur. But we don't feel any different, nor any effects of time passing, and we don't seem to be getting older. All of a sudden, the night sky comes back into focus, and we find ourselves before a previously unseen doorway leading into the tower. The pathetic cries of small children and infants drift from the entrance. Demetrius, Gravik, and Corbin enter, and you see that the room is filled with over a dozen children. Some are infants barely able to toddle, while others are a few years old. Most of them clutch yellow flowers in their hands. Some are humans and elves, while others are minotaurs and centaurs. Piled in the corners of the room are a bunch of clothing and discarded food, and there are some buckets lined up for waste. Demetrius theorizes there are adventurers that have tried to defeat the witch in the past. Gravik asks if any of them are able to speak. A young boy comes up and says, "You should not have come. You are in great danger." Gravik asks why they are there. "Well, we came because we heard of great tales and tried to enter, and we failed her test, and she reduced us all to a youthful state. And she comes down here every couple of years to make sure we stay young." When asked why they didn't just leave, he says, "By the doorway." And the boy says, "What door?" And we look, the door is not there. There is a wall, but Arcadia and Nico can see in. Apparently the kids cannot kill them. They have been there, kill themselves. They have been there for over 500 years, as the boy has never heard of the Oath of Peace. We hear that the witch is there in the tower. She sometimes watches them, and Arcadia, the boy says, "Make sure you ask for forgiveness." And Gravik says, "What, you talking to me, child?" And the child says, "I am." And he says, "Forgiveness for whatever." And Arcadia and Nico go in. Demetrius fills them on all the conversation that just happened. And we go up to the first floor. And there are 8 mirrors and another set of stairs leading up. And we inspect the mirrors. One mirror has a beautiful expansive vista of a different plane of sight, very gorgeous. It's the nicest place you've ever seen before. The second mirror has a volcanic planet with 2 people with energy weapons fighting, looking suspiciously like Star Wars. Another mirror has a vast expanse of stars and nebula. A fourth mirror looks like a dismal plain of hell, with armies of dozens of insect men marching in perfect formation across burning wastelands. In another mirror, Gravik sees somebody looking back at him, and he leans closer and goes to tap his quarterstaff against the mirror, and it goes through, and the creature inside reacts. And he quickly pulls it back, and he tells the party he thinks the individual is having liver failure. And we find it is a creature called Ralph from Springfield. He does not know of the witch, but he says he's in danger. Gravik knows how he feels, but we do not interfere. Then we go the next mirror. We see Thylea about 10 miles above Scorpion Island. Demetrius throws a ration in, and it falls about 5 feet before landing on something like glass. The next mirror, we see a bunch of people wheeling a wooden horse into a big city, looking kind of like Thylea. People do not notice Gravik. He can stick his quarterstaff into the mirror. Demetrius says, "We should have such statues in every city." The last mirror looks like a massive prison under a sea, and it looks not nice. The third floor looks like an alchemy labs with a couple of different items, potions, and chests of gold. And in the center is a massive pile of gold It looks like more than what we won at the Great Games, which was 25,000 gold pieces, and Vengeance is squirming very badly. Gravik inspects a few items on the table. There are some weapons, a couple of flowers, a couple of vials, etc. We finally get to the top floor. The twisting stairs open into a stone room at the top of the tower. The floor, walls, and ceiling are covered in etched hieroglyphics that look roughly made. We see a giant library as well. A majestic blue winged lion with the face of a woman sits in the center of the room. She has 6 arms and 2 legs, and the wings have eyes in them. Behind her is a big window that shows the island below bathed in daylight. She does not appear to be paying us any attention. Demetrius is starting to think that we might have been a little bit too casual with this whole killing the witch thing. She doesn't look like an ordinary witch to him. He gently shoves Gravik forward to urge him to talk to her, and Gravik coughs on purpose to get her attention. She demands and turns to him, "Why have you disturbed my contemplations?" We didn't mean to. It's just we were sent here on our quest from the Oracle." Silence. "Just looking to get some information. I was told to speak with you." Silence. "Lovely library that you have here. I'd love to take a look at your collection." Silence. She appears to be waiting. "I love your wings. They're very lovely. And your hair, it's..." The Lotus Witch makes a disgusted sigh. Arcadia walks in front of the witch, drops to one knee, puts her fist to her chest, and bows her head because she remembers that she was told to ask for forgiveness. And the witch starts to talk with her as first Corbin is trying to sneak around behind her as she notices and tells him to stop. And Arcadia explains that our quest here is twofold, hoping to get information on the White Book of Thylea, and the second is we have heard about the curse she has placed upon the centaurs on this island and was wondering if there's any way she could be swayed to lift it. And then she starts talking to Gravik because he's the one interested in the White Book, and he asks why she cursed the centaurs of the island, and she says, "Well, they acted like children, so I treat them like children." And apparently, when he asks if she has given them chances to prove that they have learned their lesson, she says, "I've tried and I've tried, but do you see how barren this land is? Once upon a time, it was nice and full of trees and knowledge. And then these barbaric centaurs decided to use it as firewood. So if they're going to be primitives, I will treat them as primitives and like children." And Arcadia asks, "Is there any way we can restore the land?" And she says, "Well, the land itself is fine. It's the barbaric centaurs who keep destroying it." And we see that Demetrius is slowly losing his temper, anger bubbling up inside of him. And Gravik has asked if she has told them to try to cultivate the land, and she says she's not talking to them. And she would not downgrade herself to talking to children. And now Demetrius is getting extremely pissed off. But Gravik manages to persuade her. He says, "Well, of course, we could converse with them in your stead and convince them to cultivate the land." So she strokes her chin and says, "I'll tell you what. I believe it is very important to know history, or one will be doomed to repeat history's mistakes. Do you not agree?" And he agrees. "So you would agree that those who are oblivious to history are no better than infants, and they should be treated as such. I wonder whether you should be transformed into infants like your former friends from them. Like your former friends downstairs, my children." So we end up that she's going to ask 4 questions about the history of Thylea, get 3 right, and we win, which of course upsets Gravik, being not from this land, and Arcadia sighs heavily and says he can't answer these questions by himself. He's not from here. So she starts the questions with all of us participating, with all of us vulnerable to the consequences. Question 1. Who was the first of the Dragonlords? Gravik can't answer. Arcadia guesses Esther Arklander. Wrong! Question 2. When Thylea bore fruit, which 2 titans sprang from a single pit? Arcadia answers correctly, Sidon and Lutheria. what happened to the city of the Sirens? And this is amazing because none of us know this, and also as players, we have not come across this in the game at all in the past, almost 2 years that we played. Gravik guesses and says, did it sink beneath the waves? And he is correct. And Corbin raises an eyebrow and says, maybe a wizard is a good thing. Demetrius looks at Corbin and says, shouldn't you know who the Dragonlord is? And Corbin says, I don't remember, brain scrambled. She asks another question. Who was the cruelest of the Dragonlords? And Corbin and Arcadia answer both Estor Archelander and Telemach Archelander, which is incorrect, which is interesting because they were told that they were both the most ruthless of the Dragonlords. Apparently not the cruelest. So we have gotten half right, half wrong. She asks who created the centaurs. Demetrius says, was it the sibling of Sidon and Lutheria, the divine stallion? And it is correct. And for our reward, she will answer any 5 questions we ask of her that she can answer. So Demetrius asks, what can we, the party, do to lift the curse on the centaurs that turn them into scorpions if they don't find a rider? She says, nothing. Not even kill you? She laughs. Oh, I'm not saying that I want to. I'm just saying you can certainly try. Would that lift the curse? It might. And we suddenly realize he has asked 3 questions to answer 1 question. So Arcadia asks, how can we as the party leave your presence and this tower and this island safely? Her answer is, once I'm done answering any questions you have, I'll send you on your way. And with 1 question remaining, despite the fact that Gravik has yelled at Demetrius, Demetrius addresses him and says, shouldn't you ask about the White Book? And Gravik says, yes, where can I find the White Book? That is found in the adamantine vault. And for 1,000 gold that he will add to her pile downstairs, he tells her more. The book describes a link between the divine sparks and their repartition and provide hints as to finding and restoring the lost gods of this land. And we end up leaving. And there's an argument about if we can just tell the centaurs to just cultivate their land. Demetrius starts getting angry, and he tells Gravik that he made a promise to him that he would follow him, but the one stipulation he had is that the curse would be broken. So we're not done here yet. I told you that we would talk with the witch, not kill her, and we were given the proper solution to fix the problem. We don't need to kill her. Has she said to you, if the centaurs cultivate the land, the curse will be broken? Has she said that to you? Not in so many words. And it starts to escalate. That there's Gravik points out there's no guarantee that the curse will end with her life. And he says, he approaches the witch and says, witch, I'm done with your games and your rules. Break the curse now or we're going to have trouble. And she looks at him and says, are you sure you want to do this? I'm not going to let you torture people any longer. And are all of you, meaning the party, going to aid him? Nico says, I stand beside my friend. Demetrius says, Gravik says, Demetrius, don't do this. You'll just end up like all the children downstairs. And what concern is that of you, wizard? You clearly do not care for centaurs. If we die here, we can't go tell the centaurs what we learned. You can go downstairs if you like. Arcadia looks at Corbin. He looks like he's very angry and on the verge of attacking. Don't do this, guys. This isn't necessary. We could just leave. This is the kind of people we are. You can always come back and do this another time. We don't have and abandon those kids. They're not children. They're just adventurers that tried to kill her and she turned them into children. They probably had the good reason of trying to break this terrible curse. Just stop. You're not convincing me of anything. And then Arcadia breaks in and says, once again, I think we got what we needed from here for now. For now. Arcadia is right. For now. We can come back later. Arcadia talks sense to them. Demetrius, I understand you're wanting to take care of things now, but even if I were faced with going to Themis, I wouldn't engage because I know. What do you know? It is better to live to fight another day. and this witch will just go on undisturbed, torturing centaurs and others over and over and doing whatever she wants. Our overarching goal is to defeat the Titans and save the world. Well, I'm not going to sell my soul to do it. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few in this case. You would rather fight here and possibly sacrifice the entire world? Have we not always faced difficult challenges? Do we think just when we faced down a dragon and defeated it, we're always at risk, we're always close to death? But no, the Oracle must have foreseen this. It must be our destiny to face this witch and end this terrible curse. With the dragon, we needed the orb of star metal. And suddenly something, Arcadia said, seems to have made Amitrius think about something. But what do you propose? And the Lotus Witch breaks in and says, I propose you listen to your friend, Centaur. And Amitrius drops it. The Lotus Witch says, don't forget my gold on the way out, Gravik. And Nico, as we leave, Nico transforms into a large bear and takes a shit on the floor. As Gravik says, way to prove her wrong, way to prove her wrong. And as Arcadia leaves, she catches the Lotus Witch's eye, puts her fist to her chest, and bows her head. And the Lotus Witch gives her a slight nod. Demetrius asks her as they're leaving, why do you have so much respect for this mad woman, Arcadia? And I couldn't think of the phrase, but the correct phrase, because I was saying bees and shit, all terrible things, says, you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Corbin bows as well, but in the opposite direction with his kilt hiked up. Demetrius says, something you said made me think. I can fight her right now and possibly be defeated, or you're right, we need some kind of weapon. I'll need to ask the Oracle on how to defeat the witch. Gravik says, we could also try and tell the centaurs of a way to break the curse without bloodshed. Worth a shot. What's the harm in that? Corbin says she said there was no way to break the curse. Gravik said she would consider if they recultivated the land. Demetrius said, I never heard her say that. Nico says, nah, I think we'd come back and kill the witch. Demetrius says, agreed. Let's ask the Oracle how we can accomplish this. And as we walk down the stairs, Vengeance starts wiggling again. Gravik, remembering what he was told, walks over to the gold and pours out a bag of 1,000 gold pieces onto the pile. When he does that, the money starts shaking and a horde mimic appears. And right when this happens, because she remembers what he did to her in the tower on the Island of the Fates, Arcadia stamps her foot on the ground really hard and yells, ah! The combination of the gold coming to life as a mimic and Arcadia doing that causes Gravik to jump 5 feet back and scream like a little girl. The stairway above is no longer there. We end the session and begin today's, the late morning of Monday, our 64th day together, with only 33 days remaining of the Oath of Peace.
Yeah. Very good, very good. Okay. So let's kind of just jump right into this. I meant to do this last week, but I forgot. Holy motherfucker. 29 months. Okay. So, Corbin, Gravik here made this pile of gold come to life. Vengeance decides to poke her head back into her bag, and this this thing is kind of just sitting here. Doesn't look like it wants to attack, but it's just sitting here waiting. And you're first.
It doesn't look aggressive?
It does not.
And Vengeance is not going to help? She went back in the bag?
She poked her head back, she kind of poked her head in, and then she's like kind of sticking out a little bit, watching. So if you need her, she will help.
Okay. I'm gonna. So we're in combat or not in combat? We're not in combat.
It's up to you. Initiative has been rolled.
Okay.
But it doesn't look hostile.
Correct.
It's just sitting there. It's not attacking Gravik.
Correct.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna move over by the other stairs with Vengeance.
Okay.
Giving the thing a wide berth. and I will ready my longbow and attack it if it acts aggressively.
Okay. Gravik.
Okay. Gravik's going to try and step back 5 feet very slowly. Does it attack?
So it's like little tongue tentacle thing, kind of like tries to taste you, but it does not attack.
Gravik will kind of like, he's trying to keep his eyes still on the mimic. He's gonna like turn his head towards Arcadia. It's like, I believe I owe you an apology for downplaying your fear of mimics, and he's going to try and move there, and he'll dash a little bit more to there, and that'll be his turn.
Ametreus will run 30 feet. Oh, 30 feet. A melee attack on the horde.
Okay.
Sweet. I didn't want to be the one to do it.
Oh my god. What are you doing?
What do you mean what I'm doing? It's a giant fucking monster.
It didn't attack us.
It's got 1,000 gold, and I want that 1,000 gold back.
So before you do that second attack, when you smack you with your halberd, it sticks.
Oh no.
Do I get some kind of save? Or
It is a DC 13.
strength or athletics?
Athletics. And it's with disadvantage. Okay, you pull back.
Okay, so I go for the second attack after pull back. I will roll another athletics. Disadvantage. Phew. Okay, I'll go for the third attack.
I give them an out.
And I miss.
Alright, Nicodemus, he says, "Ugh, not feeling so good. My tummy." And he will kind of just run over here.
Oh, I didn't notice that Nico's not here.
Yeah, he messaged me right before we started. He's not feeling so good.
Oh.
That bear poop he took last session.
Yeah, excuse me. That was the beginning of his gastrointestinal issues. Arcadia is going to make a wide berth. He's going to go here.
He was a little too late for that.
Well, whatever. I'm trying to figure out how many feet that is. That looked like what, 45 if I go that order, because I'm trying to. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I still have some more. Basically, can we redo that movement so I know exactly how many? Well, I'm trying to figure out. What was that? About 25 feet. So now I've gone about 50 feet.
So you were like right here, right?
Yes, I'm trying to go there. 25. And then I go here, because I'm dashing. 30. That's 55. I get 70. I'm moving up here. It's my movement. And I said, because I guess this is the way to go up, right? To get out.
That's the way to go down.
Right, gonna go down. Great.
Correct. That is the.
Right. She's like, why do you have to create more trouble than... She just says, why do you have to create more trouble, Demetrius? And she runs up there, and I pass my turn, and Nyx is perched on her shoulder still.
Vengeance. Is she participating? Maybe Corbin's not here.
Sorry,
Oh.
Corbin's muted. Yes, Vengeance will participate. So I think seeing Demetrius attack and knowing that I was holding an action, that Vengeance would attack. So she's going to breathe paralyzing breath.
Nice. Is she gonna kind of just stay there, or is she gonna move?
I believe she can hit it from here. 15-foot cone.
15-foot cone. That might work. Let's see.
If not, she'll just move up just enough to get it.
Yeah. So like yonder. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me drop yonder. Drop yonder. Nice. Let me double check something. Alright, and
It can do a saving throw at the end of each of its turns, not the beginning.
moment. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, cool. Alright. Anything else?
Then she would move back to me.
Bam.
Maybe just behind me.
Alright. Check something. Can't overspeed. Okay, and it's a DC 13 con save. Nice. Corbin.
Alright, so it's my turn again?
Yes, sir.
Graphic didn't go? Oh, what did Graphic do?
He moved.
Oh. I will shoot it since Demetrius attacked it. And I'll yell over to Arcadia, like, he's attacked it. I think we have to get it now.
Hits. Like arrow sticks to it. Doesn't want to fall.
I'll do another attack. That's a miss.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what the hell? I'll rage just in case it gets free.
So,
At this point, Bravik will dig into his component pouch and pull out a charred twig and just kind of like look over at Demetrius, just, why are you people like this? And he'll cast Witch Bolts at level 3.
nice. I'm surprised he's not looking at Arcadia to make sure she's not going to attack him.
Yeah, I thought it did cross my mind, but it's kind of, his attention is totally on the Mimic. Why was that with advantage? Is that...
Paralyzed.
Oh. And he'll keep concentrating on that spell, so it's just kind of like constantly on him. Like, think of like the scene from like the Ghostbusters. It's just a constant stream of electricity on the mimic.
Now,
And
don't cross streams.
yeah, don't. I will. I think I'll start moving up towards this way as he's keeping concentration on. And that'll be the end of Gravik's turn.
All right. Is the mimic still paralyzed?
Yes.
Oh boy. You know what's gonna happen?
No, I don't. Tell me.
I'm going to move within 5 feet. I'm going to put a 2nd level Divine Smite upon myself.
Now watch, he misses.
I am going to attack. I think it does the crit by itself, right?
Probably not. Yeah, just roll it anyways. Hit the critical button, then hit.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And your weapon sticks.
Okay. Disadvantage.
Weapon stuck.
Okay. That's my turn.
And Nico, he was.
Look at all those low rolls.
Yeah. Seeing this, Gravik's gonna shout, "I'm sure you feel really clever right now, Demetrius."
Demetrius kind of shrugs like, yeah, I kind of do.
Put Bear back onto Nico because he was a bear last at the end of the session. I don't know how to do this because he wouldn't. He knows not to go up and hit it because he kind of doesn't want to get stuck. So he just do this. Actually.
Well, if he doesn't feel well, would he just, like, maybe he doesn't feel well?
Yeah, maybe he'll just sit in this corner and he'll sit down and he'll kind of like lay down a little bit.
Or maybe he'll try to move out of the way. Maybe he'll try to get out. Maybe he'll be like, oh, I gotta get out. Like running to the door.
Yeah,
Like,
let's do it like that. Yeah, he'll start running over that way. Like holding his bare bone.
Is he leaving a trail?
A little bit. Arcadia.
Arcadia, remembering that, like, just what, a minute ago, she had to really talk Demetrius out of attacking the Lotus Witch, is still in this mood and says, I've had it with you, Demetrius, and she is going to go towards the exit. And she said, the witch has the power to let us out. There is no door. I don't think antagonizing her is a good idea. And that's all she says. I will hold my action. If the mimic attacks me, I will attack it.
So you walk down the stairs, essentially.
No, I'm right there. I'm still where I can see the action, but I'm right watching. I'm not participating.
You're just peeking over the edge.
Well, I'm just standing there. No, I'm just standing there. So I can see what everybody's doing.
Vengeance.
To get the breath weapon back, do I have to roll something? Like a 5 or a 6, it says.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, you roll it at the start of your turn, and then it regens or doesn't.
And it rolled a 2, so it does not regen.
Alright. Well, Vengeance is just gonna maybe go a little bit further towards Arcadia, just in case we're going downstairs. And that'll be her turn.
This is 13 Son of a bitch.
Yay!
Corbin.
Alright. Well, Corbin's blood's up now, so he's probably not going to stop unless Demetrius does. I'll move down just a little bit, position myself here, and I will attack it with my Thunder Wave. Which I just put the... I gotta read that real quick. I don't know if I have to hit it or whether it just acts like a spell. I think it just acts like the spell.
What's the Herculean path, right? What's the ability?
Thunder Wave.
Where are you getting it from?
Oh, it's from the Herculean path.
Oh, letter 6. Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's gonna use his fancy bow. It's just an arrow. It's just an arrow.
When you make a ranged attack, you can choose to add the effect of Thunder Wave to the projectile centered on the location that it hits.
All right, so attack first.
Yes.
All right.
Cool. It hits.
So do I roll damage for the attack and the Thunder Wave?
Yes.
There's the damage for that.
And wait 1 second.
And I got...
Okay, cool. Just making sure it doesn't hit Demetrius.
Yep. And then... So does he have to save against that? It's DC
Drop
14
the save.
saves.
Drop the
Drop
save.
the save. Save.
Oh yeah, it's a strength. It's a strength save? For Thunder Wave?
Yeah, because it pushes him back. It's thunder. It's not lightning damage, it's thunder damage.
Each creature coming must make a con save.
Oh,
I'm reading that's Thunder Wave.
that's weird. The way it's coded on mine, it says strength DC 14.
Wait, how the fuck is it autofill?
And it wouldn't because it's a con save, not a strength save.
Yeah, it is. I'm confirming that. Looking at the spell itself, you need to fix that on your sheet.
Yeah, I'm changing it. There we go.
Oh, you already changed it.
Speedy,
Drop.
speedy GM.
Drop it again.
Yes. Still feels.
Alright, damage. And
Stop!
I will try to push it straight across 10 feet.
Alright.
And that'll be my turn.
Graphic will continue using Witch Bolts. I'll roll an attack for that. And he will continue inching towards the stairs, and trying to moves around Corbin as best he can. And he'll stop right about there, continuing to have Witch Bolt on the Mimic. Demetrius! Get your ass over here, we're leaving!
Is it still somehow paralyzed?
Yes.
I will roll an athletics to firstly. Okay.
Wait, hey, you had to use athletics to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because beginning at 5th level, you attack twice whenever you take the attack action on your turn. That was not an attack action.
Oh, it's an action to pull it free.
Yeah.
Then I instead of casting Divine Smite, I will cast a Ritual Weapon then as a bonus action.
Okay. Gravik, you see this bear
What?
come barreling toward. Or, sorry, I guess I should hit this button. Gravik, you see a bear come barreling towards you, and it has it looks kind of fearful. Arcadia.
Okay, so is that 30? Yeah, that's so I'm about almost at the end of my range for Witch Bolt, but I think if he gets in the way, would that Witch Bolt hit him instead?
I believe so.
Yeah. He's gonna eye the bear, just like, then look at the stream that he's currently got locked on the Mimic, and just kind of start shaking his head like, no, 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 no!
Oh, is it
Arcadia.
Vengeance turn? I'm sorry.
No, Arcadia just is watching. Again, same action if the mimic attacks her. Cast her turn.
Vengeance rolled it.
Aww.
When I push the mimic over, is his treasure exposed now?
No.
Oh,
No.
his vengeance might have tried to grab something.
Yeah, totally.
All right, then vengeance will stay.
Next to that. Mimic can't save.
Will the mimic get alive? No, he will not.
Holy shit! Damn!
Corbin.
That mimic is rolling really bad. Well, I'm still helping Demetrius, so I'll just keep peppering it with arrows.
Someone buy a random monster for him.
This
to randomly
should
show up.
add my rage bonus, by the way. Not sure if it is or isn't.
I think you need to program your rage bonus different because it says to melee. You have to remove the melee thing from the buff, and then it will work. Or make it damage to melee, then make a separate that says damage to ranged.
I don't know how to edit it.
I'll do it after the battle.
Yeah. Alright, I'm attacking him a second time. Ooh, I got a crit. And what the hell? I'll use my new ability. I will action surge,
Oh!
and I will attack him again.
By the way, if you move within 5 feet when you attack, you deal critical damage.
And I'm getting crits anyways. And this
Oh
way
damn! Beast
And thi-
mode.
And this way I don't get stuck to him.
Wow.
And because as an action surge, I get the second attack again too, right?
Yep. This horde mimic got real unlucky with its saving throws.
Yeah,
DC
very.
13 isn't even that high.
And I'm gonna move back just a little closer to the stairs since it looks like the majority of the people want to leave, but I got my eye on Demetrius to see what he does. I'll
Does
go
it-
over to grab it.
does it look like- Does it look like Nicodemus is going to stop, or is he still barreling? Like,
He's a bull in a china shop.
okay, seeing this, Graphic is going to rush forward and leap and try and slide so he doesn't end up shocking Nicodemus with his Witch Bolt, and he is going to keep it on the Mimic. Oh no.
I thought you didn't have to attack again with Witch Bolt.
No, I think you have to keep rolling to see if it hits. Let me just
Really?
double
I
check.
thought that was the whole point of Witch Bolt.
Target takes damage on each of your turns for the duration. You can use your action to deal.
Yeah, it's not another attack roll.
You only have to
Oh.
hit the first time. That's
Okay.
the good thing about Witch Bolt.
Okay, so I guess I just roll damage. Is that okay at the DM?
Yeah.
Right. And he will stay here, just kind of, just at a loss of that this even happened, and he's just gonna like glare over at Demetrius.
Demetrius seems to be having a good time so far.
I bet so. Wailing on a poor mimic. You can't hit back. So to get another crit. Get another crit.
A level 1 Divine Smite.
And you kill it.
Killed it.
And can I lean in to retrieve the 1,000 gold that we donated?
Okay, so you want to grab the money?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So when you do that...
Leave it, Demetrius! We've already
Oh
killed
no.
her.
Oh no. It's too late for that. You hear... So, Arcadia, the entrance or the stairs that you were going on seal off.
Oh, fuck.
And you hear... Now, why did you go and do something like that?
Yeah, Demetrius, why did you go and do something like that?
Your little pet attacked me.
No, you attacked it.
Does Arcadia say that?
She sure does.
What the fuck, Arcadia?
What the fuck, Demetrius? I am sick and tired of you.
Why are you on the witch's side?
I am not on the witch's side. I am on our side. I have told you in the past when you were going to throw that goddamn elf ear necklace. One of these days, your hubris is going to get us all killed. And now it's that. I should have left you because I knew this was going to happen. Something like this.
You need a new pair of panties from pissing yourself. Amazons.
Fuck you, Demetrius.
Arcadia, can
You
we
have-
kill him if the witch doesn't?
What do you want, witch?
And I say to him, you are always thinking of yourself. You're a selfless son of a bitch. If you think you're supposed to save the world, and because of you, all of the centaurs are going to die, you're so concerned about your own people. And here you do something stupid that jeopardizes you being able to save your people.
I didn't know that you were the Oracle as well, Arcadia. You can predict the future. You can predict what's going to happen with an amazing ability. Why haven't you used it up to now?
Well, I can sure predict when someone is so fucking overpowered they can change time. They can. You said yourself that looking at what she can do, she can change the weather. She can change time.
Meanwhile, Corbin makes a loud
she
grunting
has
sound and
been
points at the witch
has-
bearing down on us.
She is older than 500 years old. We know that because of the children downstairs. You think you could fight a 500-year-old dragon?
She's a dragon.
She's like a dragon. If dragons are that strong, and Arcadia will look at the Lotus Witch and just, oh, I didn't even see her come down. She probably hears us talking about this. She said, I did not touch your mimic.
Gravik will slowly try and hide the charred twig that he has on his hand.
And she looks around. Demetrius, I think it's still on you.
Oh, it's still my turn.
You only had one hit, right? Or is it 2 attacks?
Yeah, I still get another attack, but I'm not going to take it at the moment.
Okay.
So,
Maybe you should put the gold back.
And she says, children, And she looks at Demetrius. And she says, you should go away for now.
What'd you say?
You should go away for now.
Hmm.
Oh no! That's
Eh.
like Pamos and the horrifying visage.
Yeah.
And Demetrius disappears.
Oh no.
Well, things are starting to look up, guys. He says this as he kind of starts cold sweating as he looks at the witch.
Did I manage to get the gold or not?
Oh yeah, you got it.
As you do.
Well, I would say you're like in the middle of picking it up.
I'm gonna die rich.
Yeah, sure. You could have it on your new plane of existence that you go to. Bear Nico, he will. He's just gonna run over here and relieve himself. Arcadia.
Arcadia looks at the witch and she says, I assume with all of your eyes you have seen what has happened. And she says, I hope my actions or my inactions in this instance speak for themselves, and that's all she will say.
And she'll reply, do you wish to leave here?
And she says, what will happen to the rest of the party?
Well, it depends on them.
And she will say, yes, I do wish to leave here.
Then be gone. And you will also disappear. But you appear outside of the tower with Nyx. Vengeance.
Vengeance just goes over and gets in my bag.
Okay. She's like, nope, not today.
Still eyeing the treasure, though.
Oh yeah.
I will ask the witch, is there anything we can do to save our friend?
Well, that what
He's a bit horse-headed sometimes.
is, or I mean, it's a centaur. What do you expect? And she'll say, "What do you have in offer?" Children must be taught lessons, don't you know?
I can give you another 1,000 gold.
And she'll scratch her chin. But you killed my pet.
Demetrius killed your pet, and he's certainly been punished wherever you sent him.
He has been punished for stealing from me.
So what is it that I can do for you?
1,000 gold. You replace what he has stolen, and you swear an oath to me.
What oath?
Whenever I need you, you will come to me and do whatever I ask of
That's a pretty wide open oath.
you. Mm-hmm. In return, I will bring back your friend.
Can you give us some more information on how to defeat the Titans or preserve the peace?
Now, why would I want to have the Titans defeated? They've done nothing wrong to me.
Well, who knows what they will do if they get ultimate power? Isn't it
Don't-
better to have them not be completely in control?
Corbin, I don't think we have any room to barter here.
You're not being asked to give the ultimate oath, Gravik. Maybe Gravik would be willing to give you this oath.
And she'll say, "How about this? I will answer any one question you have about anything."
And release my friend?
And release your friend.
Corbin looks very, very unhappy, but he'll kick the ground and say, I will add the caveat to the oath that I will come and perform your task, providing I don't have to leave my friends in a deadly situation. Or if they come with me.
And she says, "Done."
Okay, so I gotta take off 1,000 gold.
Correct.
I'm tempted to take it out of Arcadia's gold.
Arcadia's just sitting there, probably staring at the tower, like either punching it to get back in because there's no entrance,
No
or saying "fuck this" and walks away.
She's halfway out, gone by the time we get out of the tower.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll say, for my question, can I speak to you from outside of the tower? Or must I ask it now?
Ooh, she says, "I'm sorry. You asked to speak to her outside of the tower?"
Well, I wanted to confer with all my friends before I ask a question.
Oh,
But if we're about to leave the tower,
she says sure, and she'll teleport you, Gravik, and Nico outside of the tower next to Arcadia if she's still there. But Amitrius is not there yet.
and I will tell the others. I said, I think I have managed to secure Amitrius coming home. But also, I have gotten another question. What question should I ask her that will help us?
Arcadia says, "What did you do?"
Something very foolish. Not as foolish as Amitrius, but foolish.
What did it cost us?
It's only going to cost me, Arcadia.
What did you do?
I made an oath. I made an oath to assist her when she calls, but not if it puts you in any danger. It was the only way. The Oracle says we need this horse to complete our task.
Well, we also needed a weird guy who collected toenails and someone else who turned 63 years old, but I guess we're doing okay without them. But you are a better friend than Amitrius deserves.
Probably.
So what was your question? You have another question to ask her?
Yeah, I managed to negotiate for a question, so I can ask her any question. One question. But unlike some, and I'll look over at Gravik, I wanted to be sure we asked the right question.
Oh, shoot. Arcadia had thought of some good questions, but had lost her train of thought with all of this craziness.
You could ask,
Do you have a way of asking a question that would help reveal what you are not able to tell us? Can you say something that would make?
I can ask her anything.
Is that what you want? Do you have information that we should know that you can word a question, but you have to make sure that she actually would know the answer to it?
Well, apparently she knows the answer to anything.
And she'll speak up. I'll have the answer. And coming from DM Hat really quick, if it's in here that I can actually answer and know, I'll answer it.
And she says to Corbin, you said to me, can you ask her how, do you want to ask how we can gain the power of the gods? Do you want to ask if there is something that you know that you wish us to know, can you word something in such a way that she will have to answer it and reveal it to us?
Well, yeah, I can ask the same question I asked to the gods, and I assume that she will answer it.
You could ask.
Would that
or you could ask.
DM question? If I ask the same question to her, would that count as me revealing that for my other oath? Because I'm not supposed to reveal that.
No.
Okay.
If you ask the same question. Because
I didn't tell him.
Yeah, if you ask the same question, then no, it will not count.
I don't mean to interrupt, or am I complaining, but she doesn't seem to have made good on her bargain of releasing Demetrius from wherever she put him.
Are you calling me a liar, human?
No, just...
if she does not release him, then my oath does not count either.
Where exactly did you place him?
Gravik, oaths are important in this world.
He is in a land of children like himself.
My Little Pony?
And Demetrius, as Demetrius is, he this is the land he's in.
Yep, I knew it.
He's in My Little Pony land.
Well, that's probably best. It's probably where he belongs. But no, not calling you a liar. Oh, powerful witch of Scorpion Island.
You could ask her something more short term, like about the islands we were looking at going to.
I think if we have... That's true, but...
I'm not sure. The information I have is very valuable, but I'm not sure it would help us immediately.
Okay.
And we might need other information to go with it.
Okay. We could... I mean, I have a selfish question. It's like, how can I successfully, when I ask the fates how we can successfully... How can we right the wrong that the Amazons did committed long ago? Because that's, again, part of Demetrius'
Wait, the Amazons
prophecy.
committed some kind of wrong?
Yes, they colluded with the gods and during the war, and it made them... It turned the tide against the Titans. Like, the Titans might not have lost the first war if it weren't for the Amazons secretly colluding with the five gods. And Demetrius' prophecy is he has to right the wrong that the Amazons committed long ago. And we don't know how he could possibly right that. We also don't know how I can convince the Amazons to be on our side. Again, that is part of Demetrius' prophecy, where it says, only until the Amazons side with the people of Thylea can we defeat the Titans. We could also ask something like, is defeating the Titans the right answer? I mean, that gets really weird. I mean, we have been suspicious of all the gods. I am...
So almost... Corbin would look at Arcadia and say, I think maybe we should ask about the Amazons, but will you forgive Demetrius when he returns if I ask this question for you?
I don't mean to interrupt, but
I will
what?
glare at him.
But I couldn't help but notice how aimless we
I
apparently
hold up a
are.
finger.
Uh,
Arcadia looks at Gravik and says, "We have so much information. There are many avenues. We are not being aimless. We are focusing our aim, much like I did on you. So it's a good thing we're doing what we're doing."
we only have a certain amount of time before this oath of peace is
Yes, but
made
we need the
void.
Amazons to defeat the Titans.
We could just ask, like, where we should go for the better help this land.
I will hush Gravik and ask Arcadia again if she will forgive Demetrius again.
My forgiveness will last for this transgression,
Oh,
and I will
agreed.
forgive
I'm
it
not
only
asking you
because.
for all future ones, just this one.
And I say, I will forgive, but I will not forget.
Very well. So, I will ask the witch to please explain what the Amazons did.
Well, wait, before you say that, we know what they did. I need to know how
I
to
thought we
convince
didn't
them.
know. I thought we didn't know what they.
Oh, yeah, we could ask specifically what they did.
Yeah, what they did
But-
and how to. What was your question? How to fix it?
Well, that's two questions. My question is, I was told by the Fates one of the ways to get the Amazons to possibly come onto our side is to kill the queen. And if we want to be very specific, we could ask how can I kill the queen? I have a feeling we have to go in stealthily. There's no way I can get us onto Themis.
So wait, you want to kill the queen?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how we can word this.
Is that how we undo the Amazons wrong?
Well, that is what the Fates said, but on the other hand, Versi said, take what the Fates say with a grain of salt. So we can't completely trust what they say as being gospel. So...
But you would like to kill the queen?
Yes.
Alright, then I will ask the witch...
How can we kill the
What is the safest way for us to eliminate the Queen of the Amazons?
And she'll look at you and say, "Speak with the princess on your ship."
The princess?
She's talking with Maxina. I didn't know she was a princess. I think she's talking about Maxina, so we need to talk to her.
Very well.
And with that, she will nod and say, "Nice doing business with you." And she will disappear, and Demetrius will reappear. Looks like
Demetrius
he was
is,
right in the middle of like basket weaving or something.
He's covered in glitter and party paraphernalia and looks really pissed off. Damn witch. Well, at least I got the money.
But, Demetrius, you also look a little younger.
How young?
I would say 5 years.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Oh,
Gravik will just kind of like
I will
look
say,
over at
Demetrius,
him.
like, you owe me 1,000 gold, Demetrius, and I had to give an oath.
No, you didn't.
Otherwise, you'd be stuck in that fairyland forever.
No, I wouldn't have. This witch, if she really could kill us or wanted to, she would have done it already for all the disrespect we've shown her. No, it's not that easy.
No.
I bet she was going to free me anyway.
Anyways, be more careful next time.
Corbin, maybe we should have negotiated for her to keep him.
I still don't know who you are, Gravik. I'll dangle some garlic next to him.
Gravik will kind of like bat it away. Stop that.
Maybe I should have asked her what Gravik's secret was. That would have been good.
What a waste. What a waste.
All right, where are we going now?
Well, I guess I wish to go back to Nessa and tell her about my failure. And I guess then we're going to the next island.
Okay.
When we walk back, does the same day in, day out weird thing happen?
It does not.
Although Arcadia's going to do something. Yesterday, yesterday? Wait, what day is today? That. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the timeline here. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So, before they landed on the island, in her training, and it was just a day ago, or let's say this morning, the morning that they went to the island, when she was training with her chakra, she accidentally cut herself on the hand. She should look at her hand right now. Is that cut still there?
It is not. You see a little slight scar.
But I mean, a scar like it still happened?
Yes.
Or did it? It did happen that morning.
It happened, so the cut's gone, but it's a slight scar. Like, it's not, like, you know how, like, after scar heals, like...
Right, so it looks like we've aged a little bit.
Yes.
Well, see, that's interesting.
What are you guys talking about? I haven't aged at all. In fact, I've gotten younger.
Hold on, I'm writing it.
I've given Corbin the 1,000 gold, by the way.
Hey, Ralph. 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 So, what was Arcadia doing now?
Yeah. Same answer?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so let's go.
Okay. So we're heading back. You come up, you see, you kind of see like some smoke rising up out of the air, like in kind of in the direction that you guys were heading, anyways. And if you keep walking, you see that they are having a little bit of a feast. The centaurs and all of the monks that are still alive, including the ones who were the trainers.
They're not eating scorpions, are they?
No. And the one who said something to Demetrius looked up and he almost like spits out his food. Holy shit!
And I approach the centaurs and greet them. Hail.
Hail.
Surprised to see me?
Surprised to see all of you. And Nessa says, I'm not.
I will approach Nessa and I will lower my body before her, like my legs like going down on my knees, but
Stop.
centaur style. And I'll say, Nessa, unfortunately, I have failed you. I was not strong enough to defeat the witch.
And she looks sad.
And I'll say, but I do not plan to give up. I want to give you my oath. I will swear an oath that I will do my best to find a way to break the curse, and if I cannot do that, I will slay the witch.
Corbin will pipe up and say, the witch did say something about replanting all the forests, and she would lift a curse, potentially.
She must still pay for her crimes, hence my oath.
And Nessa will set like a hand on your chest and say, "My love, you don't need to do that, but I thank you."
I want to do it for myself and for my people.
Then I will take your oath.
And maybe plant some trees.
Yes, Arcadia would walk up to her and said, yes, apparently the great wrong that was done in your past was all of the trees which contained knowledge. I'm guessing she had a large library on her tower, and maybe, I don't know, they were either for books or perhaps they were sentient, but she said your ancestors cut them all down and used them as firewood, and so the land is flat. I would, even though we're not sure it would work, as a gesture of good faith, I would suggest that you plant some trees, preferably, I'm sure, in the vicinity of the tower. You don't have to go too close, but in a way that she can see that you are making an effort, and perhaps this will sway her to lift the curse.
And one of the centaurs pops up. So wait, she's just a pissed off librarian?
And Arcadia says, sometimes things can fester over time to the point where they become larger than the initial transgression. And she has been here over 500 years, so she has a lot of time to become bitter.
She's an evil and twisted hag, and her mind is completely broken. I have doubts that this will work.
And Nessa says, let the women talk. I know,
says,
I know, that's why I said it.
Try.
I
You
just
could stay here and do nothing, but at least if you make an effort and there's a chance that something can change, and it doesn't cost you anything, I think you should give it a try.
And she says, very well, we shall do that. And fun fact, man, my grandma was the first librarian. Was the first librarian in.
I will travel in the meantime to Vulcan and ask the god of the forge if he can create a weapon that may slay the Lotus Witch.
What's a Vulcan?
You do not know of the 5 human
They're
gods.
very logical.
We are not human. And then the monks say, yeah, we know of them.
Well, I will give them a brief explanation of the 5 gods, who they stand for and who they are. And I'll also explain that Sidon is recruiting centaur tribes to fight the 5 gods.
Very well, we will keep this in mind.
And then I'll say, well, until one day when I have obtained the means to face the witch.
And
I will bow them goodbye.
And one of the monks will perk up. So where are you heading off to next?
And I will raise my brow and I will look at the monk and say, what business is that of you, monk? Have you something for us?
Oh, I was just going to make a suggestion. If you happen to make your way to Aresia to seek out our temple and our leader, maybe he could give guidance in some way.
Thank you for this, monk. I will do that.
And Arcadia,
where would this temple be? Sorry, Arcadia.
Go ahead.
Where can I find this temple? Because Aresia is a large land.
In the highest mountain pass. On top of the tallest mountain.
Thank you, monk.
Stairs.
And Arcadia will look pointedly at Gravik and say, and this is why I did not want us to jeopardize our relationship with the monks, the instructors with whom we spoke. the ones who could possibly give a good word, and so Corbin can get the tattoo he seeks, and I can get the training.
And the monk will tell Corbin, if you make it there, seek out our elder. His name is Tito.
Ito?
Tito.
Okay.
He is one of our ultimate fighting champions.
Arcadia would look at the monk and bow her head and put her fist on her chest and say, there is something I would like to learn, and I'm willing to pay. Is it something within your power to show me, tell me about the philosophy and principles behind your, and she would describe, but basically she's going to say stunning strike.
And they look at each other and say, that is something you must learn. We cannot just give you a book. You must, in fact, train and learn.
And she says, I understand that, but I don't know where to start with just even a principle of it.
In the town of Mitros, there is a monk there. His name is Chuck. Seek him out, and he may help you.
God damn it.
Great.
He may be slightly chilly.
Well, Arcadia didn't throw Chuck in the lava, so she's like, very well, thank you.
Some things come to bite you back in the ass.
Corbin has no regrets. Not even about Gaius.
Oh, Gaius. My boots. Give me back my boots.
As they walk back, Arcadia would say, if Vulcan is at his forge, there are some things that he has for us that could be helpful, like the armor he was crafting for Nicodemus that makes him, I forget what it is, it's disadvantaged with lightning attack. And she says, there's also an instrument that I think Chemos couldn't use, but Gravik could. And also, I was wondering if I could ask him if he can start work on my weapon, even though I don't have all the money I need. Because it will take 11 days to forge it, and if he can get a head start on it, time is of the essence, and I would rather have this weapon earlier than later. If I can give him the money that I have, and see if he can at least start on it.
Remember, I will say, remember that thing the Oracle did with the message system, with the birds and shit? Or the, there was some delivery service that we once made use of for the instruments. Maybe we can, instead of having to go to Vulcan, we can like either use a spell or send him some kind of message. Like, I think Nicodemus, if he takes a rest, he can maybe prepare like animal messenger or something.
Well,
Yeah, we
let's
can
see
fox him.
if we could also, let's talk to Kyra, because she also can move very quickly. So why don't we pickle Kyra and ask her if Pythor is back at his forge.
Well, let's go on the ship first.
Well, we have to decide, because you need to send the Antikythera. If we're going to another island, or if we're just going to Arisia.
I thought we were going to Fire Island.
Fire Island. Let's go to Fire Island. Let's be nice to the DM.
Yeah.
I'll send it to.
We totally changed our plan.
I'll send it to Fire Island.
Yeah, you just send it to Fire Island.
Okay. Let's set it to Fire Island, get onto the ship.
Which is the prisoner. And just to remind everyone, we also heard that Chelsea, the goddess of swiftness, has something to do with Fire Island and might be imprisoned there.
Yeah, I'll read
And
this.
I'll put it in the chat here for you guys to read.
Okay, I'll also read it for our.
Oh yeah.
I can read it with for our viewers. Which, by the way, thank you, viewers, for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
But I need to find it first.
It's in the chat.
Yes, and we learned about the constellation of the prisoner from a sailor. Chalcia, the goddess of swiftness, was the only god to escape when her siblings, Sidon and Lutheria, decided to destroy their brothers and sisters. She escaped to an island of fire, pursued by Sidon's storm of wrath. She hid deep in the island and waited for the storm to abate. You can see her cowering in those 7 bright stars. But Sidon and Lutheria did not leave. Instead, the twins reached deep into the roots of the island, shifting rock and stone to trap their sister in a tiny chamber at the island's fiery heart. Look, you can see the red star beneath Chalcia. It represents the everlasting torment she suffers, trapped at the island's center. And the female tiefling said that Bragos is on Fire Island, and Bragos is the slaver that Ametreus has sworn to kill.
And suddenly, Ametreus, something seems to click in Ametreus's head, and he suddenly says, "I get it! I finally understand." And when this text read, Sidon and Lutheria decided to destroy their brothers and sisters, and Ametreus recently learned that his god is in fact one of Sidon and Lutheria's siblings. And that's why, no doubt, he was also destroyed. At least that's it.
A few moments later.
He finally understands why the stallion set him on this path. Alright.
Okay.
So
So oh, go ahead.
Is Kyra with us on the ship?
No.
No, we need to pickle her.
And
After we get the pickle from the bear that is running like into the woods.
well, if you go back, because you'd have to wait to nighttime anyways to set that to Kara, so he would be out of bear form right now.
We have to wait till nighttime?
Yeah. How else would you set it to the stars?
I thought we just had to be on land, and then you just set it to a setting that says it. But maybe I'm mistaken. Because we've set it in the morning before.
Yeah, we weren't specific on it had to be nighttime, but it makes sense.
Right.
Nighttime.
I
But
guess
yeah,
it is a compass.
if you get the pickle, Nico says, pickle. Of course, you just want me for my pickle. And he will hand the pickle to Arcadia.
And she kind of rolls her eyes a little bit when he says that. So she calls for Kyra.
Do you rub the pickle?
She doesn't want to love the pickle. She hands it to Corbin.
Corbin rubs the pickle.
Yep.
And little eyes and little hair pop out of the pickle, and Kara says, "Huh? Don't you know what time it is?"
Yeah, it's time for us to talk to you.
Yeah, we're just busy, saving your life, Kyra. So if you could make some time for us.
What can I do?
Do you know how we could deliver a parcel to Vulcan?
Or a message, actually.
Do you know maybe some god of swiftness or some message delivery service?
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
All right, because we need to urgently send something to Vulcan.
You trying to get next day,
Yes.
or just regular shipping?
Next day.
Okay, I will send. I'll send out our messenger then. What do you want?
What are the?
What do you
Yes.
want? What do you want me to ask him?
We
would
need.
like-
Oh yeah, you go, Arcadia.
If he's at the forge, can he start work on my weapon if I give him some of the money I owe him? And also we have a giant we have more star metal.
Let's
Ask if
just
he
give him
could.
both star metal
Yeah,
orbs.
ask if he can work. Yeah, if he's at his forge and if he can start work on my weapon early. Basically, we just need to know if he's at his forge because we'd like to go there and be able to meet him.
I think we can actually do that over distance, right? We can just send him the star medal with a letter with instructions.
The star metal, I don't know if
Because we have
anything that
30
can carry-
days.
Right, but also, is there something that can transport something that it took 10 men to lift, or one gnome?
Point. Do you know? Actually, what about the bag of holding? What about sending a bag of holding?
Will it fit in it?
And probably.
We have extra bags, right?
I've got
You have
one.
2 bags.
Got a lot of stuff in it though.
Same. Well, that was just one idea. I don't even know if the rock would fit in a bag of holding.
He's pretty huge.
Let's ask Kyra, can we send an actual parcel? Can we send an item?
Sure. So you want me to... What do you want me to do? You want me to send him a message, or do you want me to send you our mail carrier?
Well, the item what we want to deliver to Vulcan is pretty big, so we could use a large beast of burden, like for example, a dragon. Do you know any dragons, Kyra?
I do not.
Oh, well, that's a shame because we could really use one to carry this star medal to Vulcan.
Well, doesn't Corbin have a dragon?
It's too small.
It's pretty strong. She might be able to carry it.
And Kyra say, he's man.
Well, it is
I'll ask
for the
Vengeance
sake
if
of.
she can. I'll ask Vengeance if she can pick up this stone.
It's on the ship. Yeah, where we are on the ship. So, can Vengeance lift it up?
She got a 19 strength.
Well, even if I don't think we want to send Vengeance flying to Vulcan alone.
Yeah, I don't think we want to. You don't want to be apart from her. Too much
I don't
can
want to,
happen.
but
Basically,
she can't pick it up anyway.
Yeah, let's just let's just ask if he's at the forge and that we need to meet with him because
So you want me to send an owl or a messenger to my father at the forge and see if he's there?
does that sound good?
It does seem kind of like a waste to not make use of like the package thing. Like, I mean, should we
Well,
just
how are we
try
gonna
sending
do
him a
it?
message? Kyra, do you
How-
have any ideas? Can I show the pickle the orb of star metal and its size?
She can't see.
Okay. Well, we have a giant orb of star metal. We need to make a weapon so that we can, do the oracle's business and your godly business. How do we do this, Kyra? Do you have any idea?
I can send a messenger to you to pick this thing up and take it to the forge.
Okay, do that, please.
Okay, where are you?
And
We
should-
will be
and
on Fire
Ar-
Island in 3 days.
Arcadia would say, just make sure the messenger is strong enough to pick something up that it took 10 men to move.
Or one Corbin.
Corbin did it on his own. How bad could it be?
Took me a couple tries though. And a rage.
She says, you're going to Fire Island.
Yes.
Why?
Destiny.
Barbecue.
Be careful.
She says, well, Arcadia, since we're speaking to her, she would say, we have a few different islands that we need to go to. Is there a better one that you think besides Fire Island? We haven't been...
I'll tell Kyra, if we were ever careful, we wouldn't be in this business.
Well, just know that Fire Island is home to a volcano.
Can't be any worse than the
that's right.
games.
Yeah, because actually we don't know where any of the other... We only know the constellations. We don't know the name of the island. And she would ask Kyra Do you know any of the islands that are connected with the constellation of the Golden Heart, the Warrior, the Twins, or the Ant?
Yes.
Are you able to tell us?
I could tell you that some are more important than the others, but I can't delve into it fully. Just follow your heart.
Follow our
Well, all
heart.
this is
like
going
the
on.
Golden Heart, perhaps the Golden Heart.
I didn't say that.
Right. Well, we will be in Fire Island in 3 days. Can your messenger make it there?
Sure. And you want me to ask my father if he can start work on Arcadia's weapon with no money?
And yeah, no much. Yeah, I think he needs the star medal to even begin. Because I think you asked him this last
He
time.
has
We can
the star
send
medal.
money. How much money is it?
I gave it to. I gave
Oh.
him the orb of star medal. The one
Oh,
that we
he
got
already
when-
has it. So
Yeah.
he does not need many more materials. He only needs money.
He needs money.
Oh.
Much
Well,
money?
that's easy then. Then we can just give some money to the messenger and tell him to get started. So I would suggest we wait until the messenger. Then you can like write a letter, give the messenger gold, and the messenger can give the letter in gold to Vulcan, and then
Okay.
he can get started. And then you
I'm
can just
hoping.
send him money every now and then.
Oh, I thought we had the star medal on the boat.
And she puts her.
Yeah, it's a second orb.
She walks away from Kyra, and she says, "The original orb of star metal we got when we killed the Copper Dragon."
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh.
We have extra star medal then.
And
Yes, we
Amitrius says,
do, and I'm hoping we can make something out of it.
Amitrius yells, "Oh yeah, when we killed the Copper Dragon, haha, that was a good battle."
You prick, is what she will say.
I think vengeance would bite him at that point.
But,
Why? Why? That thing attacked us.
well, this is all going on. Gravik is just staring at the pickle, flabbergasted, just seems to be oblivious,
Taking it.
oblivious to everything that's going on around him, and he's going to just slowly reach out and poke the pickle.
And keep in mind that this pickle isn't like the size of a normal pickle anymore. It's kind of shrunk.
Yeah.
And so when you poke it, it's kind of slimy. And and the pickle says, "Ow, why?"
What? What?
What are you looking at, Gravik?
And she'll say, "I'm Pickle Kyra."
What?
Don't you have
Why?
these?
I
No.
get it, guys. He's wondering why the pickle is so shriveled up. Well, that's because it's been places that no pickle should go.
He's
Gotta
just
talk to
gonna look
Nico
at the
about that.
finger that he used to poke the pickle and just kind of like start wiping it on his hand, like, ugh. Why a pickle?
Why not? Pickles are delicious. They crunch.
Gravik will just turn away and just walk away from the scene, just completely at a loss.
And that's why she did it. Now you know. Just to fuck with you.
And again,
Okay, thanks, Kyra.
So Kyra will say, so to reiterate, you want me to send someone to Fire Island to retrieve star metal, and you also want me to send a message to my dad asking him to start work on a weapon he said he would make with no money.
What about just the messenger? And we will give the messenger money, and then the messenger can deliver it to Vulcan with the money.
Right, and we just want to make sure that he's going to be at the forge. Is he at the forge? Is he at his forge?
I don't know, he's not here. I don't control
Well,
where
that's
my
what
dad
we
goes.
also need to make sure that he is at his forge.
I
So
mean,
when we deliver things.
even if he's not there, he will receive the package after, right? He's now friends with the other dwarves there and stuff. Like the forge is active, right?
No, only he can make the magical weapons.
I think we should just go with the messenger, and I'm pretty sure he'll get it, and he'll be at the forge.
Well, I know he'll get it, but he needs to be at the forge to build this thing. It's not going to be very helpful if
Well, that's on
I'd
him.
like to give him-
He said he would help us with the forge thing, so it's on him to make sure that happens. We just send him the stuff.
He can always fly to the forge.
Yeah. We should stop trying to do his job for him.
And one of the crewmen will say, "What do you mean fly?"
Yeah, it's like
Nothing.
Arcadia is saying, I'm just trying to save us time in case he is somewhere on who knows where he is. I just
I'll
want
say, go back to work, sailor. This is a private conversation.
She would say to Kyra, please ask that he be at the forge so he can start work. Please ask him if he's at the forge. And not on vacation like Pythor is.
Alright. Well, we've decided this now. Let's hang up and go to Fire Island.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
And the pickle and her face disappears from the pickle.
How much gold does Arcadia need?
Oh, only 25,000.
Oh, Jesus. I'll get 5,000 plus 2,500 of Arcadia's gold still. So I'm holding on to 7,000 plus.
How much do they actually have?
Arcadia says, I can't ask you to give your gold.
Well, I don't have much need for it, but Vengeance kind of likes it.
So you
She is
only
your
have-
sister, though, so she might give it to you.
So you only have 15,000 between all of you, anyways.
That's why I want to ask if he would start work even without all of it.
No, that's not.
Maybe if
true,
we killed a
GM.
giant gold mimic, we could have got some more.
It seems like we have only 15,000. It's because we put the gold into an actual item for the carry weight. So, like for example, I have
Yeah.
3,000 on Amitrus, but in my bag I still have like another 2,000.
Yeah, I've only got 300 in the actual treasure, but I've got 7,000 in my bag.
I think we've got about 25,000 if we put it together.
I'll figure it out. Meanwhile, Arcadia is going to find Moxina.
All right, I will set the Antikythera and get on board and start sailing as Arcadia goes to seek.
Okay.
Corbin will pat V on the head at night and say, "That was a good paralyzing breath you had."
And she looks at you and she gives you those big puppy dog eyes and looks at her money and looks back at you and looks back at her pile of money.
No competition.
Don't get too attached to the gold. Don't be that kind of dragon.
And you see her some cold smoke comes out of her nostrils. And she looks at you expectantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like she
I'll
wants
chuck 100 gold on the pile.
and she'll go on go and sit, and like how cats will center her down, and she'll sink into it, and she looks very content as she falls asleep.
She turns around in a few circles, and then she lies down, and her tail slowly wraps around herself.
And at this moment, also, Corbin, a black cat slinks in and will go and sit at the foot of the gold, and also will curl up and sleep.
Aw, Piggy! You just...
Piggy's the thing keeping our ship free from rats.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And Vengeance allows this?
She does.
I think they had cats on all ships back in the day, right?
Yep.
Yep, they sure did.
Well, the cat doesn't go onto the gold. She sits at the base of the gold. All right, and Arcadia is going to Moxina.
Yes.
And you walk in, and Moxina looks up.
I go to one knee and put my fist to my chest and bow my head and say, Princess Moxina.
And she gives they used to call me that.
Whose queen are you the daughter of?
What do you know? What have you heard?
I just heard that you are a princess, and that you would know the best way for us to defeat your sister, Leah. And the time is drawing near, I think, when we need to make a strategy. And I do not think we're strong enough to fight all the defenses on the island without stealth. I think we would need to... You know how the sisters feel about outsiders, let alone men.
I do.
We would have to sneak in and try to take care of this in a small scale. Do you agree?
The moment that Arcadia says stealth, she hears enormously heavy hoof thuds. The thought that.
Where are they? She was hoping to speak to her in private. But...
They're on the bottom in her room.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be in private. But you.
Okay,
It's,
but you're hearing
it's a ship. I mean, it's a ship. So.
Clonk, clonk. Yeah, with a wooden ceiling, clonk, clonk, clonk.
Yeah, just like the idea that stealth with a plated centaur.
Let's just say, I am the daughter of Hippolyta.
Hippolyta. Or Hippolyta? How do you pronounce that? Hippolyta? Sounds familiar. That's
Hippolyta. Hippolyta.
Would Arcadia have known about this person?
Yes, she is one of the ancient queens, actually.
Oh, so she has a long line of history.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, so you see Arcadia's eyebrows go up.
I don't want to spoil the fun, but she already told us all of this, as well as her reasons for being exiled as a princess, the revolt, her lover.
I don't want to spoil this, but she never said she was Hippolyta's daughter. This is new news.
I think she did.
No,
I knew she was a princess already.
Well, I have the transcript. I don't know how you knew she was a princess. She just said she was one of 3 sisters.
She is the sister of the 6th Amazon queen, Leia.
Yes, that doesn't make her a princess. She is a sister of it. She is Arcadia is finding out that she is the descendant of an ancient Amazon queen, which is different. Arcadia knows. She is the sister of Leia and Nastura.
Yeah, that makes her a princess.
Not necessarily. Well, she's the sister.
Yeah, the sister to a queen. Usually... Okay, yeah, never mind.
Well, typically, like for especially the Canadians and the Brits, Princess Anne, she's the daughter. She's related to the Queen.
I was assuming princesses are offspring and not sisters. The definition of princess. Anyway, this is new information for Hippolyta or Hippolyta. So she says, I need to know, are you planning on killing your sister?
For what she did to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Then we are of one mind. And I need to know, I do not know you wouldn't let me touch your hand, and I saw statues around you. I'm assuming she has the same powers you do?
She does.
This is an awkward question, but what do I need to... What are her strengths and weaknesses? What do I need to watch out for? Should I not touch her? Or how did she... Why were there statues around her?
And she'll look at you for a moment and say, can I actually trust you with this secret?
I think you'll have to if we were to defeat your sister and find Darian.
Do you know what a mirror is?
And she says, yes, we've used them against the basilisks.
Well, you asked for weaknesses.
And Arcadia says, so she has similar powers as basilisks? She can look at people and paralyze them?
And she'll kind of give you a slight nod.
Have you heard, do you have agents, or is there any way of you are gaining information about what's happening on Themis now?
Yes.
Then you have heard the rumors that have been started about me wanting to kill all the Amazons?
And she'll kind of laugh. Yes. But my source tells me that it's not building a lot of steam.
And Arcadia says, you have trusted me, and I will trust you with some information. But the reason why I left Themis was to restore the worship of Kentamine and wrest it from Lutheria's grasp. And I'm hoping by killing your sister, I'll be able to do that. There is a small group of us that have been resisting the worship of Lutheria in secret. And I was told that they were in danger, that they were afraid that there was a mole within our group, and that if I did not leave and see if my father was indeed Pythor, god of battle, I needed to find that out. And if that were true, to see if he could help us fight against Lutheria. But he cannot be involved. So it is my mission, and the reason why I left the island. And gave up everything there is to kill the queen and take back the island for Kentamine. So I know there are people there who would fight on our side if only they were given the courage and the strength to do so. Will you help me?
And she'll say, what is your, say that you kill my sister, who then would take the throne?
And she would say, there are people in the resistance who I trust, who have much wisdom.
So you wish to place one of your own people on there?
As opposed to who? Who else?
And she doesn't answer, but she's looking at you, but does not answer.
Would Arcadia, is there a tradition that in the Amazons that whoever, like, kills the queen becomes the queen?
Basically, yes.
Arcadia says, I would take the throne and surround myself with people on whom I could rely for wisdom and experience, as I am only 19. But I would restore the worship of Kentamine and bring back prosperity to our people, to our sisters.
And she'll say, if you do go to Themis, I will send a bird to my she'll say to my, and then she'll say, I will let her know that you are coming, and she could help you out. But I know if I go there, there will be no sneaking. I am too
There will
well
be
known. She
no
won't be
sneaking.
able to,
Got
yeah,
it.
because she's too well known.
And she said you would send your bird to someone on our side on the island.
Yes. To one of my allies, and she will meet with you.
And Arcadia nods her head. Is there any other advice you can give me as to how to do this? Do you know where the queen sleeps these days? And her defenses, the tribe of the basilisk.
And she'll say she knows much.
And then Arcadia will bow her head and she says, I will find your love for you. I will find Darian and bring her to you.
And she says, when you are ready to head, seek out her name. Make sure you remember this name, as I will only mention it once.
Okay.
And she says, seek out a woman named Gabrielle.
Obviously not Arcadia. He's laughing.
Have you put two and together yet?
Wow. Okay.
Have you put two and two together yet?
Now, are you asking me this as out of character?
Yes.
Well, I guess. I mean, I never assumed Xena would ever betray anybody, but yeah. But the world is twisted, as we know.
Welcome to the Engorgiverse.
And she says, thank you. She'll ask, is there anything you need right now?
No. Just make sure you can trust your friends.
And she looks at her and she says, that is a bigger ask than you know. And she will bow her head and say, may I take my leave?
Of course.
And she will leave.
All right. I gotta pee, and it's been a bit, so let's take let's take our 10-minute break here. As bells are as a light bulb's going off in Arcadia's mind right now. So let's come back let's come back at 10 till. I gotta pee. Our stream will be back here in about 10 minutes. If you go away, please come back and we will finish this out. See you in a moment. How about I unmute my mic? That might work too.
Could be.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 people agree.
Right. Back to the flute music. Alright, so we're on the ship. Was there anything else pressing we wanted to do?
If we're gonna be on the ship for a little while, Gravik's gonna wait until Vengeance is up on deck, and he's gonna cast Mirror or Major Image to create a giant pile of gold on the deck to try and fool him. Her.
So that would be the next day. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that Corbin takes Vengeance upstairs.
Yeah. She'd be out and about.
Yeah,
She's not hungover from fighting the Goldman.
And she does have to go hunt and get some food anyways, right? Go get like a bird or something.
Yep.
Okay. So you're gonna make a major image of a pile of gold. Okay.
Yeah.
And
similar to the one that the mimic was resting in.
so Corbin, when you come upstairs, Vengeance with you, and she sees this and starts wiggling.
I'll let her go.
Alright, so Gravik, what happens when she goes to this pile of gold?
Depending on how quickly she goes at it, it should just fly through it and slam into the deck.
Oh man, way to make friends!
And you will have you'll have a like a 2-week-old, 3-week-old baby dragon slam into the deck.
Brutal, dude.
Gravik will just kind of sitting on like a barrel and watching this, and just kind of like puffs out a chuckle before making the image disappear.
So Vengeance knows where that came from?
Is that concentration? Because I don't think she would actually, if he's just concentrating on it.
Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, unless like he starts laughing. I mean, Corbin.
Well, he just said he did.
yeah. Corbin will be laughing. I mean, nobody else will be laughing. They'll be kind of like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with this poor baby?"
I was trying to say, does Vengeance know that he fooled her?
Let's make a roll because she is smart.
What's your intelligence?
Yeah, she
What's
is.
your intelligence?
She has a 12.
Got a 12.
Oh, that's pretty smart. She's smart.
Yeah, I would say she would get the sense of knowing that Gravik did this to her.
Then she would immediately get up and breathe on him.
As Gravik sees that she's rearing back to breathe on him, he's gonna quickly jump up and run around the deck trying to get away from her. But
which breath?
Paralyzed.
Okay. He succeeds.
As this is happening, he just bursts out laughing as he has this dragon chasing him around.
Does she recharge?
Oh man! Oh.
4.
Wow.
Oh.
There he goes.
All 6s.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 20 seconds later, yeah, she'll recharge for 3 turns. So paralyze him again.
Yeah.
Poor Gravik. He did it to himself.
Yeah, at this point, he's gonna run downstairs and just escape into his room and try and barricade himself in.
There she
until he
gets
just slams into the deck, paralyzed, and skids for a minute, and he quickly stops laughing.
While he's down, she'll fly down and take 10 gold out of his pack if she can.
Nice.
As he feels her digging into his his bag of holding, he just starts trying to move and kind of tries to tell her to stop, but it just comes out as a grunt.
He finds a ton of blood vials in there.
and shockingly enough, she says that to you,
Wait, what?
She says that to me?
to Gravik.
Oh. Is that in Draconic?
It is.
How come I can't read it?
It says understood by Corbinosity.
Oh, that's what you get. Yeah, I got it.
And I think this is the first time she's spoken.
To someone other than Corbin.
Yes. It was a joke.
She would say she doesn't joke about gold.
Yes, the joke
Vengeance
time.
laughs.
Oh, poor Gravik. Actually, I meant to.
You didn't give us our rest, by the way.
And while this is all going on, wind starts to kind of pull at you.
I'll go below deck.
Arcadia would look up into the sky and see what she can see. And by the way, this morning she was back at her regular military exercises, as always, meditating, parkering about, and she's better at her parker. You can see that. But again, target practice with the chakra.
Alright.
And what do I see?
So, you see the skies begin to darken, and on the horizon you see a massive storm rolling towards your ship with alarming speed. And as it grows closer, the ocean starts to grow violent. Soon, the ship is pitched about by powerful gales and crashing waves, as you guys have entered into a hurricane.
Lee, by chance?
So you can try to sail into it or try to outrun it.
Well, I guess, wouldn't Nico know what to do? I mean, isn't it like normally when you're in something like this, don't you take all the sails down so you're not just like thrown about? But this is the Ultros, so maybe it can do whatever it's doing.
I'll ask Nico what his experience as a sailor says we should do.
Well, laddie, you should get the fuck out of here.
All right, I will tell the crew to sail away from the hurricane.
Alright, so to outrun this would require some kind of spell.
We only need somebody that can control the water.
Or the wind.
This would be
No,
more
you can't-
controlling the wind.
Can't really control the wind, but I can control the water. I might be able to cause the current to change.
Does Nico have a spell that can control the wind?
Let me look. He has gust of wind.
Or we can do Hulk clap.
Would it be possible for him to cast Gust of Wind into the sails and for Graphic at the same time to water control?
If Gravik wants to, you can certainly do that.
I'll give it a try. And Gravik will start casting control water to try and change the current so that the ship can go a little bit faster.
Okay. And at the same time, Nico will use gust of wind to blow into the sails.
Nice.
And let's see here, this would be... Alright. This one? Nope, not that one. This one? Nope, not that one. Oh, wait, it's just that. Oh, yeah. You skirt around the storm.
Woo! Nice.
And as the storm, like, you get far enough away from the storm, like, around it, and as it's passing you by, you hear cackling coming from the storm itself.
The fuck?
Does it sound like male cackling? Like side-on cackling?
It sounds like male cackling, but does not sound like side-on cackling.
Not that I've necessarily heard him cackle. Maybe I've heard him chuckle, like when he hit Demetrius and Corbin on our way to Mitros.
I will ask the sailors about the gods of the sea, if they know any.
We know Poseidon.
Poseidon. Is he a sibling? Is he dead or still alive? What do your sailor tales say?
He apparently, well, he's one of the old gods, and hasn't been seen or heard from in forever. We also know of the Kraken, but the Kraken, we wouldn't be here if it was the Kraken.
You guys heard that laughter, right? Do you think that's Poseidon, or is it something else, or some other sailor legend that you know of?
We haven't ever encountered Poseidon. We've seen hurricanes like this before, but never heard that kind of laughter.
I see. Well, thanks.
Alright. And the hurricane goes over. Alright, cool. So if there's nothing else you guys kind of wanted to really go over or RP out, we can skip to the 3 days.
Island.
Unless you want to go over things.
Plan ahead? Are you crazy?
Right? Hey, what am I thinking here?
Arcadia would ask both Moxina and Chondros if they know anything about Fire Island. You don't have to RP it, but unless there's something important.
They know that it is the home of a volcano that hasn't erupted in a while. But most people kind of steer clear of it as it's the home of the lizard folk. And those are very weird people.
Say it again, there are lizard folk there, and what?
It's the home of the lizard folk, and they are very weird beings. And Nico pops up. That's not very nice.
Very suspicious. We go visit the lizard folk and Nico's not around.
And they won't elaborate on how the lizard folk are weird.
Correct.
Oh, I wonder if there's a...
They like to worship an old god. But it is nameless. That's what they are told, or that you guys are told.
Might be Chalkia.
Chelsea is just one of... Well, could be. Arcadia would point out that, Versi had warned us to do exactly what the fates said, and if we had agreed to bring a female lizard folk, that we would have a time deadline on our hands, because she said within 1 week, and she realizes that if we had agreed to that, then if we had brought it after 1 week, we'd have probably been in trouble.
Alright, so come up to this island. You see crystal clear blue water and a handful of smaller islands surround the landmass you are approaching. Dense tropical foliage covers the islands, and you can hear the cacophonous sounds of abundant wildlife. You see an impressive black mountain rising from the jungle at the center of the main island, and the smell of smoke and brimstone hangs in the air.
Would you mind putting that in the chat? Thank you.
Beautiful place for a vacation. Too bad we don't have the time.
Corbin comes back up on deck after the hurricane, sees the island, and says, what are we doing here again?
I will say we have to maybe find, talk to, and free Salkia, the goddess of swiftness, and we have to hunt down Brygos the crew. And Vorina, the tieflings that are traveling with us, also want to go on this island to face this Brygos.
Speaking of Arena, I forgot she had a tanker scaff.
Okay. Also, Arcadia would say we were going to ask the tieflings, to scout because they can be invisible.
And the tiefling, she will look and say, "That wasn't the agreement." But I guess I can do that for you. And she'll actually look over at Gravik. Is that what you would like me to do?
Gravik will be kind of like leaning over the edge of the ship, looking a little pale, like, what? Why did you... I'm sorry, I was distracted. What did you say?
She'll say, so you want me to... Would you like me to fly over this island?
Yeah, if you're comfortable with that.
Not necessarily, but for you, I will happily do that.
Sure. Go ahead, just don't do anything dangerous.
And she'll say, but danger is so much fun. Wouldn't you agree?
Sure. And he's gonna look back out over the railing at the island.
And she'll say, fine, and she will turn herself invisible.
I will, Demetrius will step up to Gravik and say, she's not to your taste. You'll ask her. You'll ask him.
Nice pun. He's just trying to ignore it.
Don't worry. We'll get you some nice men when we get back on shore.
Yeah, whatever.
So I guess with the tiefling scouting, Demetrius would ask the party to join him in the sloop and sail towards the coast, and I assume meet the tieflings there when they have scouted.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh no, oh no. What does oh no? That's almost as good as are you sure?
Just Gravik isn't feeling the best. Let's just say that.
Corbin slipped in too much garlic.
It wouldn't matter. And so the lady tiefling will come flying back and say, well, there's a bunch of different types of weird lizards, and then we tried to get towards that volcano, but it's way too damn hot.
That's all you've seen? Have you seen any landmarks, such as a temple or something that might look like a capital?
Well, we saw a bunch of different like villages.
Any humans?
All right.
Lizards.
Just lizards?
Just lizards.
Right. I would ask that you tieflings do what you can to find Brygos. We will go to the nearest village. Can you point it out?
And she'll point it out. She'll say, if you go up here, and you go over here, that's where there's where they're set up.
I will say to Verena, I will honor the promise that I've made you to find and kill Brygos. So, can you set your tieflings on scouting the island, trying to locate him? Then we will go about our business here. And when you find him, you come find us and tell us.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. Say it, trying to get sail to the island. Blah, blah, blah. Go. Good.
Perhaps when we get to the island, we could hunt or get some fresh meat.
Really? I will look at the graphic and I didn't figure you to be the hunting type.
I can occasionally. It's just the ration, the dried food is, not the greatest. It'd be great to get some.
Got a lot of goats on board.
I suppose, but
Well, our main source of food is Arcadia's hunting, so if you want to ask her to get you something, you can.
Yeah, that might be a plan.
She looks at him. So. And she says, give me your water skin.
Give you your what?
Give me your water skin.
My water skin. Sure. Thirsty, and he'll hand off his water skin to her.
And she puts it on her shoulder. And just tell me when we get to the island.
What was that?
Just tell me when we get to the island in Gorgio.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're saying to the island, as you guys are getting closer, you see 7 of these lizard people coming. One of them is dressed in a very nice, regalia. But you're pretty much to the island.
Okay, so I guess we reach the beach, we get off the boat, and we approach the lizards.
Okay. What is Arcadia doing with this water skin?
Oh, she'll just go up with the lizards. Go up to the lizards.
Okay. So one of these, this nice looking lizard will walk up and say, "Hail."
Speaking common.
Yes. And they'll look around like, are you people mute?
I will look at Arcadia and say, do you want to handle this, or should I?
And she says, hail, and she will put her fist to her chest and bow her head and say, we have come here seeking, we have come in peace, first of all, and we are seeking someone who may be hiding on this island, who is not a nice person. He is human.
Ah,
Would you happen to know who he is? Where he is?
not really, but maybe he landed with one of the other tribes. But my queen asked us to come and retrieve you. She would like to see.
Ah, perfect.
And she says, "May I have permission to hunt something for one of our party members? He is not well."
We have food. Is he? Unless he is one of those who eat leaves.
No, but I would like to get him something fresh.
Amitrius will say, he eats blood. Do you have blood?
He's a goat sucker.
We have raw meat. Is that what you require?
No, he is some... He drinks blood.
They all kind of look at each other.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then
understand it either.
Arcadia will just say, may I just hunt something on this island? With your permission. And if you would like, I can bring back more for you.
You may ask our queen first.
And she bows her head and says, very well.
Okay. So they'll kind of they'll lead you into like almost to the outskirts of the jungle, but they're still kind of on the beach. And there's like 30. Yeah, there's like 30 different lizards here. And then this one woman, and she's obviously dressed like the queen, will come and say, "Are you here to help defeat our mortal enemy, Shankor?"
And upon seeing this female of high standing, Arcadia would drop to one knee, put her fist on her chest, and bow her head. And she said, "We do not know that being. Would you tell us more about them?"
He is the king of the firewalkers. And then she'll go on to describe how he's corrupted his tribe of the lizard folk by turning away from the god in the volcano and making sacrifices to Sidon instead.
And Arcadia will look at Amitrius and say, "Sidon's your friend." Well,
Mine?
you seem to. She looks at him and says, "You seem to have a relationship with him."
Yeah, the relationship where he keeps striking me with lightning.
But you are trying to understand him.
Right.
Do you feel that we can... Will you feel comfortable attacking someone who's worshipping Sidon?
Of course. Done it tons of times.
And
I
she
think
said,
I've got a missing piece of information, so I'm good with attacking Sidon's followers.
And she says, "We can aid you." And she said, "But first, may I have permission to hunt on your land? A friend of mine needs a fresh kill, and I am happy to bring back meat for you as well."
If you agree, though, we will have a feast, and there is no need for you to go hunting. We'll have a great feast in your honor.
And she says, "Our friend has specific dietary needs and would require me to at least hunt one thing."
And she'll say, if you are accompanied by one of my guard, that is fine.
And she bows her head and agrees. Should I just bring one thing back then? Do you need anything else I can bring something more if you would like.
We will have a feast. We have our food. You can just bring back enough for your companion.
If Arcadia has concluded her business, as she, then I would like to talk to the queen. Amitrus will say, "Oh, great queen, thank you for your hospitality. I have questions about the island. Have you heard of Chelsea?"
She looks at you like she is, like she's dumbfounded, and she says, "What's a Chelsea?"
Have you? There is a legend among the people of the mainland, and it goes as follows. It says that Chelsea, the goddess of swiftness, escaped Sidon and Lutheria and was imprisoned upon this island. And I suspect that she might reside within the volcano.
You mean our nameless god?
Yes, I do believe your nameless god and Chelsea, the goddess of swiftness, are the same.
And the lizard folk who can hear you start murmuring amongst themselves.
And just to be clear, Arcadia has walked off and is on a hunt. Correct?
And one of the lizard but you will say, we'll bring you over to like one of their hunting grounds.
As Gravik sees her leaving the hunt, he's going to try and quickly follow after her.
I will hold the mumbling and confused Gravik still, like so that he doesn't wander off, and I'll say, "Just wait here. You will only make it more difficult and slow her down."
He's going to fight against him like almost rabid as he's trying to get away.
What's this wrong with your friend? Calm him down.
Yes. Would you excuse me for one moment, Queen, as I calm my friend down?
Yes.
I will look around and I will drag Gravik to a private area. I will take a knife and I'll slit my wrist and I'll hold it out to him.
Wow.
You must have a sip of blood, have some of mine. Just behave.
Interesting.
What does Gravik do?
Interesting.
Oh, sorry. You wanted to escape. Sorry, let me roll my own strength. Oh yeah, sure. I'm not gonna try to dodge it. I'll say, "Fuck, that hurts."
And he'll just latch on and just start drinking.
And Demetrius is just patiently waiting for him to drink a little bit, and then he will try to peel Gravik off. Like, that's enough.
You'll have to do a strength check. Which is probably going to be very easy for you.
Actually, let me do this.
Oh, that was graphics.
Oh, right.
I was like, wow.
I'm just gonna peel him off and just hold him out.
So Demetrius can grapple him, but Corbin can't. Just throwing that out there.
He's very quick.
Yeah, so he will just kind of just look extremely defeated, but the color starts to come back to him, and he just doesn't say anything, just kind of looks really ashamed of himself.
I'll take out a cloth and I'll wipe his mouth, and I'll put him down on his feet, and I'll say, "You good?"
And as Demetrius does that, he's just gonna like bat his hand away. Just don't tell anyone.
Fine.
Meanwhile, Corbin's been standing there the whole time, and he nods his head.
I'll say to him. I'll say to him, "Fine, but you need to start gathering some supplies because we can't have you turning into whatever that was whenever you're out of blood. So do your best to, I don't know, buy some vials, fill them with blood, or whatever you have to."
As you're saying, one second. As as you're kind of saying that, he just kind of like spaces out for a minute and just kind of looks at Demetrius, just a little dumbfounded for a moment, and just kind of say under his breath in Celestial, I don't think anyone can hear it or understand it.
And yeah, Arcadia, you're able to find the meat or the animal. It's a deer.
Yeah. But after mumbling that, Gravik will nod his head and kind of turned after kind of like realizing Corbin was there and just like, well, no point in trying to hide anything now. But he will just kind of walk away without saying anything.
Amicis will return to the Queen, and I'll say it's taken care of. He will not bother anyone.
She will nod.
And, the wound on his arm has already been closed up by Amicis.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So she'll say, "So will you agree to help?" And we will try to find this human that you speak of. There's not too many. I don't think there's really any humans who come here except for yous.
Let me summarize what you said. There is a tribe that has abandoned your religion and has turned to Sidon. Is that correct?
Correct.
What have they done that makes them deserve death?
They capture other people from other tribes and sacrifice them into the fire for Sidon.
Then I will give you my word that I will help you.
And she says, and we will search for this human you speak of.
Very well. And I will put my fist to my chest and I will bow my upper body a little bit. Then we have a deal.
And she says, once your companion gets back, we will have our feast. And she says, my son is to be sacrificed and served as the celebratory meal.
Excuse me?
What?
Are you?
I know, it's like Arcadia's not there, but I'm like, wait, what?
Amicis is like, what did you just say? Sorry, my queen? You are going to sacrifice your son?
Yes, and he will be served as the meal. This is a great honor.
Is that a... and Amicis is just like standing there a little bit like scratching his head like... Well, there is... we have our own religion and it is forbidden for us to eat the flesh of a sapient being. And Amicis is lying. I will do a deception.
So you see Arcadia walk up, and just in time for her to hear, "I'm going to sacrifice my son, and we're going to eat him," basically. And she looks for Gravik.
I would not ask you to sacrifice anyone for us. We will help you regardless. We will help you without making any sacrifice.
And when you say that, and she says, and the rest of your party?
I will appear at the rest of my party, and without even asking them, I'll say yes. They agree.
So when they say this, everyone, all the lizards start mumbling amongst themselves, talking amongst themselves, and Vitha, that's the queen, she appears to be insulted. And she says, "What? You want one of my bigger, stronger sons instead? That is very greedy of you."
I say no. Sorry, queen. I do not wish to insult you. What I mean to say is, we do not want to eat any of your people.
And she was kind of pissed about this.
I understand it is your culture, but we are from a distant land. Let us allow us this thing, and we will be risking our lives to help you. So please work with us a little bit. I will do a persuasion check. Hopefully calm her anger.
Meanwhile, has Arcadia found Gravik?
Yeah, she's fucking
Yeah, you would see that Gravik no longer looks as pale as he did, and he's no longer seems to be just overly distracted.
Well,
Dimitri seems to be struggling with politics.
she takes his water skin and she, basically hits it against his chest, and she says, "Here."
He'll take the water skin, looking a little confused, and he'll pop the top off it and sniff it.
First of all, the thing feels the water skin is warm.
And he just kind of like mumbles under his breath, like,
And it's warm, and when you smell a coppery smell. Animal coppery smell. Deer.
Yeah. Just how many of you figured this out so...
And Arcadia, you notice that Amitrus is looking uncomfortable. He is shuffling on his hooves, and you can already see that he's starting trouble accidentally.
She walks over, and again, she bows her head.
And he seems relieved to see her, and he quickly whispers, "They want us to eat her son."
Here, they taste like chicken.
And she would say, these are your customs?
Of course.
And she says, "Do you not feel grief for your son?"
No, this is a great honor for him, actually, as our god. If you're going to go and defeat these firewalkers and from desecrating the our god's temple, my son will be happy.
And you notice that Amitrus is not up for this shit.
And she says, "And he is doing this of his own free will."
And you hear a young pipsqueak voice, "Yes, I am."
Oh, he's like 3 or something?
Like 10, 11. And he'll come up. He'll come up and he'll look at all of you and say, "Eat me."
I will whisper to Arcadia, if they serve this kid on a platter, I'm going to fucking kill them. So do something, please.
And she says, whispers back, "You will do no such thing. If this is their customs."
I don't care what their custom is. I'm not letting this 10-year-old be eaten because they believe in some bullshit. And he almost speaks to the light.
And she'll say, like, you believe in some bullshit about a divine stallion?
The divine stallion is real.
And so are their customs.
You are going to eat this child, Arcadia?
And she says, if this will keep the peace,
no, you will change your soul.
Who are we to question their customs?
I don't care.
If they're good for it.
Then who are we to stop the sacrifices that the other tribe is making? That's their customs. Why aren't we respecting those?
Because your best friend Sidon is in charge of that.
I don't know. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to eat a child. I don't care.
You don't have to. And she turns and says to the queen, "Will it be a great insult to you if some people do not partake? This is, unfortunately, a clash of our customs. We are not accustomed to eating children. And I know it is a great honor. Is there some compromise that we can make that would appease both yours and our custom?"
And she'll say, "Did you just not kill a deer?"
And she said, "I did." And she has it, the
carcass, yeah. And she'll say, "Is that not a child?"
And she'll say that it does not. It is not what we consider of a high enough intelligence. And it wasn't a fawn either. I'm guessing it was an adult deer, right?
Yeah, it was a dog.
Yeah, she says it is an adult of its kind, and we do not consider it. It cannot speak.
Everything can speak. You just need to know how to speak to it.
She says again, this is our custom. Is there anything that we can do to compromise?
Well, are you saying that some of you do not eat meat? Is that what it is?
Listen, Queen, I will be very plain with you. If you kill this child, I will not help you.
And people start murmuring again.
Demetrius does not seem to care about that anymore.
Gravik will just be standing back, kind of watching this play out.
Your customs are your own. Do not try to involve us in them.
This year, thousands of centaurs will die from stubbornness.
Yep.
No, he won't.
And Arcadia will say, again, I ask, is there some sort of compromise we can come to? Some of us, she will just refer to, Mitra says he is very stubborn. Sometimes, and often, to the detriment of the rest of us.
And she'll say, do you wish to eat something else? Or do you want to eat plants like a deer?
Yes, we
I
do
said
not eat meat.
we should eat plants. We would be happy to eat plants.
Yes.
And then she brings out a plant with a face that says,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm a plant."
Yeah, exactly. The kid
And
puts
Demetrius will say-
the kid puts a leaf on his head. I'm a plant now.
Exactly.
I'll say, Demetrius will say, a plate of grass is fine for me.
We have hay
And then
for you, though.
And then Arcadia will say, "He is part horse after all."
So yeah, how does Corbin feel about this? Like, I mean, it tastes like chicken for all he knows.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. He feeds him some spices and some of the garlic.
I'll step up to Corbin. If you eat this child, I will not travel with you anymore.
And Vengeance seems keen on it.
Vengeance, no. No, I'm taking the gold back if you eat this child.
Groot. You know, teenage Groot.
Corbin
Gravik will step
seems
forward.
a little confused.
Yeah.
But it's their tradition.
It is a
Gravik
child.
will, yeah. Okay, at this point, Gravik will step forward. I think what my comrades are trying to say is, though we respect your culture and your traditions, but it kind of goes against our own. So,
And Arcadia says, "I already said that to her," and she says, "Queen, we would be happy to eat plants, if that would be acceptable to you."
And she'll look around and says, "Is this what all of you wish?"
well,
And Arcadia will just say yes.
oh, okay.
And the queen says, "So be it." And she'll say, "Let's one back to the pen with you." And he will put down his head and says, "Okay, bye." So yeah, then they'll make plants, and all these people are kind of like chuckling and calling you leaf eaters and all this kind of shit.
So, is there any particular reason he was chosen? The runt of the litter, maybe?
It's just a great sacrifice, or a great honor that he was chosen.
I see. How often do you have these rituals or sacrifices?
As often as needed.
I see. Well, I'm not one to question other people's culture. Even as bizarre as it is. But I'm sure our culture would seem very bizarre to you as well.
So what do you eat?
I eat all sorts of things.
Corbin will pull them
you want some more
aside and
blood?
say, Corbin will pull one of the lizards aside when he says that and say, have you heard of the legendary goat sucker?
What was it that the lizard folk said?
I forgot.
I'm not opposed to eating meat, and among other things, but it's just not used to eating something that can talk to me.
I see. And while this is going on, a couple of these lizard folk are looking Demetrius up and down.
And Demetrius will turn to Arcadia and says, "There are some lines I will not cross. Not even if my god came down and told me to do it. I would sooner kill myself than eat this child."
And that one of the lizard folk says that to you, which I don't think you can understand, but that's what they say.
And if they mock him or make fun of him, he will actually, unlike his normal personality, he will just take it in stride. Like he would rather take the insults than this child's life.
But they did not say it in common. And then they'll say, the queen will say, so do you need lodging, or do you wish to sleep on the ground as well, or do you just want to get going?
Well, what time is it now?
Probably 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, we should just get going.
Read it.
Alright. Well then with that, we'll start next week off with us going to this island, or this first they'll tell you where you need to go towards the volcano. Then there's the path leads right into their keep. But with that, we could call it. Demetrius and the kitty cat this time. You got close.
Yep.
Almost got banished. Well, he did get banished, but almost was permanently banished.
Corbin had to.
Yeah, Corbin had to save his ass again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As usual.
Yeah, at what cost? This is not going to be good.
So now doesn't Corbin know 2 O's to people?
Yes.
He does now. One thing, who knows who Camos is, and
Not Camos.
yeah, not Camos.
It's kind of like the story that we got that she seems to be trapped in this volcano, and the fact that they are doing volcanic sacrifices. I wonder if that's somehow related. Maybe the sacrifices are keeping her trapped or something, but that's just my speculation.
I don't know.
You do, but
I know
the rest
nothing.
of you.
I know nothing. But alright, yeah, we'll call it here, and we'll be back next week. So thanks, stream.
Good. I might.
We'll see you next week and see how it goes, and hopefully these people go into the volcano maybe and get eaten. Who knows? Summon the volcanic god. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next week.